This is Snake. Can you hear me? Good. The mission is simple. Put your geek pants on and infiltrate Foxhound. If you need backup, contact Ken and Chris on their codec frequency. Ready? Snake out.
Because we are officially rolling. We are officially recording.
We are rolling, good sir.
Yes, that is the way I should have said it. I should have left it at rolling. Because then it sounds like I know industry speak.
Automatically, I'm singing Limp Bizkit in my head.
Oh, yeah.
Rolling,
Seminal classic.
Yeah,
That 1-2 punch, those two albums, though, the one that put them on the map, with $5 Bills, y'all.
Yeah.
That one, and then their follow-up with...
the chocolate starfish.
Yeah, that's
hot dog flavored water.
The worst innuendo-laden name ever. But those two albums were actually really,
no denying
really good
that
albums.
A giant amount of hits came from that album.
Yeah, but it's not even like there's no denying. Like I'm saying that I actually liked those two. I feel they're good albums.
I enjoyed that.
It's not like Nickelback where I go, I understand people like them. Mm-hmm. And I understand that's why they've made millions of dollars and they've had countless hits. I understand that, but I think they're fucking terrible. You know, like musically, they're talented. Mm-hmm. Like I would say, I don't like what they're doing with their talent, but they have talent, and people like them. Whereas now I'm actually saying, no, I'm with you. Those two albums from Limp Bizkit. Yeah. Those are great albums.
They were good. I mean, I remember going on the school bus like every day just listening to that Chocolate Starfish album. Boiler was such a great song.
Not too familiar. I'm only familiar with the radio hits, actually, to be honest.
Okay, yeah.
And also because, like, what was it? American Badass?
Yeah.
Undertaker?
Yeah.
Up to Rolling?
Yeah.
That part, actually, I still hate that part.
Rolling.
Although American Badass Undertaker was shit. Was absolute shit.
Yes, because then he went Kid Rock, right?
For when he was the Big Evil.
Big Evil, right? He did.
American Badass was Kid Rock. That's
right.
That's right.
So Big Evil was Rolling.
Was it? See now maybe.
I'm thinking he did both songs with American Badass.
I'm gonna have to check myself. Because
himself.
Yeah, because, oh man, Kid Rock was the one that I was like, I didn't like Kid Rock.
We should do a musical episode.
We
Not
could.
that we talk musicals, but we sing the whole episode.
That'd be like that episode.
Everything we're talking about is in music.
That'd be like an episode of Buffy.
Yeah.
That was a great episode, actually.
That was a great episode. Yeah. So good.
Hilarious episode, too, because it made sense.
Mm-hmm. That's one of the top 5 best episodes.
Speaking of teenage dramas, do you like how I'm Tom Wellington?
I do. I like it a lot.
Welling in Smallville.
Welling.
Yeah. I mean, sure, I got the actual crest shirt, but the red and blue.
Yeah. No, you're nailing it.
And it's like a cape, too. That's another thing I was like, oh, man. I like to do this from time to time and make people think, is he doing this on purpose? The answer is yes. But I always, like, the episodes that I would watch, I'd be like, okay, so he's got a red sweater, blue undershirt, Superman colors.
Yep.
Next scene, a plaid shirt with the colors red and blue. Oh, big surprise here.
But then when he actually reveals the Superman logo, he's in
black. In a fucking trench coat.
He's in black with a trench coat.
The second I saw that, first of all, I felt like that was a cheat, too, because they're like you're never going to see him in a costume. Once the costume is there, it's done. And I was like, well, that's a cheat, because that's a costume. Mm-hmm. That's a costume, and I think he was calling himself the Blur.
Something like that.
Yeah. Or he wasn't necessarily calling himself that, but others, like Lois Lane, was calling him the Blur.
Apparently he was a fan of The Matrix.
Yeah, but that's just it. But again, it's one of those where I'm like, yeah, but for a guy that's consistently wearing like bright, generally friendly colors, like blue is a very like friendly color. Yeah. You know, and red is a little bit more of an aggressive color, but you know, if you're predominantly wearing blue, most people, it kind of evens out. So then he immediately goes to black. But no face mask. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, what?
Yeah, strange. Good old Tom Welling.
Yeah, Tom Welling. His not his name. It's Tom Welling. And the worst part is as I was like thinking about this in my head, I said Tom Wellington, and then I went, no, it's Tom Welling.
But then you said it anyway?
Yeah, I know. Like, I had almost pre-rehearsed what I was going to say, and I still fucked it up. Why? Because I'm human, and that's what makes Geek Pants so amazing. Yeah, it always seems like I'm just rambling, but really, it's all part of the plan. Hello, Geek Nation.
Oh, robotic.
I'm never saying that again. I'm never saying
Geek Nation. I write it in my I write it in my social media posts, but I never really say it out loud.
I'm never saying it again. If I say it again, it's literally going to be me being like, Geek Nation. I'm not ever going to be saying it for real.
But we got to come up with a name for the viewers.
How about? No, we can't do that.
No, we
can't. That's actually copyright infringement.
That's taken.
What we could say is they are the fans of Geek Pants.
We could. Or we can come up with something better.
Okay. Yeah. Alright, you little geekomaniacs. Is that better?
Geeksters,
little geeksters, yeah.
Little
that's
geeksters.
Another one.
No, that's just weird now. I feel like
Well, because we just, both ripped off Hulk Hogan.
This is straight up.
Back to back.
You take your vitamins now.
So, thank you for joining us. Thank you for joining us to what I'd like to call A Tale of Two Marvels.
A Tale of Two Marvels.
I know you're thinking to yourself, if you're talking about Shazam and you're talking about Captain Marvel, how is that a tale of two Marvels? Well, here's a bit of history. Way back in the day, around 1938, a character was created. This character was called Superman. And Superman was, and is still, a global phenomenon. But absolutely huge. Superman makes it huge, and everybody now says, we gotta have superheroes. We absolutely have to have superheroes. Mm-hmm. Because of Superman, we got Batman. We got Captain America. We got, later on, decades later, Spider-Man and Thor and everything that we talk about on this show, pretty much, we got because of Superman. What we also got was a character by the name of Captain Marvel, who says the word
not
Shazam.
Carol Danvers.
That's right. Or, not Marvel.
No.
The original Kree Captain Marvel.
Which my dad was a fan of. I have Captain Marvel.
I can see that.
I have Captain Marvel #1.
I can actually see him being a fan of that, because, of course, with Thor, Silver Surfer.
Yeah, he liked that cosmic side of things. Yeah, he hated Fantastic Four, and that's where the Surfer came from.
Yeah, but because the Surfer is cosmic, so part of that thing. So he probably would have been a huge fan of Jim Starlin's 70s stuff.
Oh yeah, he would have kept reading.
Yeah,
100%.
Probably would have been a huge fan. 100%. But he also probably would have had to have done acid or mushrooms too. Because a lot of those writers, Jim Starlin, has said, I dabbled. A lot. But anyway, so Shazam, or Captain Marvel, he was called Captain Marvel literally up until the New 52, when they rebirthed, or when that revamped the whole line, and they said, you're going to be called Shazam from now on.
Yeah. Because he was already saying Shazam all the time.
Well, because that's how he got his powers.
So he said Shazam.
And because of a legal agreement, he could still be called Captain Marvel in the books, but because Marvel was smart and they bought the rights for Captain Marvel.
Yeah, even though their Captain Marvel came out 30 years later. Yeah,
exactly. But they purchased the rights for Captain Marvel and have never let it up. They've never let them loose. So the part of it was that he could still be called Captain Marvel in the books, but on the covers, it could not say Captain Marvel. It had to say Shazam, or anything other than Captain Marvel. Which, if you're not a comic book fan, that could be confusing.
Yeah.
I think about
horribly confusing.
I think about it and I go, yeah, no, it makes sense. So, when they decided they were just going to call him Shazam moving forward, I was like, that actually makes a lot of sense. Because most people that don't read comic books, or even people that do read comic books, actually thought that was his name anyway.
Yeah.
So...
I know growing up, I was very confused by him. I just assumed he was a Marvel character. Why is he with Superman, Batman? And
because I was the reverse, and I was more of a DC kid.
You were the DC kid.
I knew him as Captain Marvel, so then when I heard of another Captain Marvel running around, and also a Captain Marvel whose costume isn't as cool as Shazam. I'm going to refer to him as Shazam from here on out. Who's not as cool as Shazam. Because Shazam's costume is awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's almost largely unchanged, too. Like, really, from what it is.
Still has a little white cape.
Still has a little white cape. It's still a little bit off-center as well, which I like.
Mm-hmm.
They've added what looks to be like a hood to it, which I think... No, they have added a hood. Because
they did add the hood, yeah.
Which I think... Like, I don't like the hood idea. Especially because, like, when I look back at previous... Like, even the oldest drawings of him, it always kind of just looks like it's a collar type of thing. And it gives it more of a military look, because his suit has a bit of a military look for the most part, up until they make it more look like a costume. But even like Alex Ross in Kingdom Come, it's almost like a military type style suit, right? So, but either way, I love it. I've always loved the look, and I wish he was more prevalent as a kid, because growing up, cool it would be to read about Billy Batson, who's a kid just like us, who says Shazam, and suddenly he's like got the powers of Superman. Yeah,
really. I mean, he was the only kid that wasn't a sidekick.
Exactly.
Yet he wasn't really popular, and you never really heard about him.
Exactly. Well, part of it, a big part of that is because of DC.
Yeah.
Because DC, in fact, the reason why
because he was so much like Superman, right? So they're like,
at one point he was outselling Superman.
We're gonna push Superman.
I guess we might as well just go with Captain Marvel first.
Shazam.
For sure, Shazam. Fuck it, we'll do Captain Marvel first. We'll do this, and then we'll get to Captain Marvel.
What'd you say last episode? We have no structure.
Yeah, what? Structure? Who needs no structure?
You don't watch this for structure. But before we go further, I just got to give a shout out to our 70th follower. All right? A 70th follower, Jared Schaff.
I'm going to go with Shaft.
Ooh, Shaft. There's no T, but
it's
a
implied.
badass motherfucker.
That's right. It's also implied. It's implied.
Right. I think the H is probably silent. It's probably Scaff.
You know what? When I work with him next, I'll ask him.
Oh, is this another coworker?
It is another coworker.
Oh, well, hello, Jared.
I am starting to rack him up.
And it's even worse that you don't know how to say his name.
How many of the guys you work with do you know their last names?
Pretty much everyone, because I have to.
Okay, that's different because you
have to.
It's
part of my job.
Yeah.
You just gotta call him Shaft for now.
I'm gonna call him Shaft.
All the time. Shaft. All the time.
But
so that means only 30 more subscribers to get to our giveaways.
Mm-hmm.
Which we teased like 2 years ago.
And every once in a while we remember that we have giveaways to give away.
Yeah.
And we mention it, much like the Infinity Gauntlet.
Yeah. We have the Infinity Gauntlet, and we have one more item that I don't remember anymore. I have to go watch your old videos again.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
What is the second item?
I remember there being another item.
There's two items. The Gauntlet is one of them. Anyway,
getting back to that. So, because at one point, Captain Marvel was out selling Superman, DC entered into a legal battle. And they were doing this with, like, every other character that kind of, sort of, in some way, shape, resembled Superman. Because there was a lot of knockoffs.
There was.
A lot of them.
In Marvel, and DC,
and
friggin' Ultra Comics, Prime. Remember Prime?
Okay, but I'm talking about, like, right around the 1940s era.
Oh, back then.
This is when they went hard after them.
Oh, I believe it.
So then, because Fawcett Comics were the guys that were publishing Captain Marvel. Okay? It's actually kind of funny because, I think his name's Mike Angelo. Might be Mark Angelo. He's the creator of Captain Marvel. Or of Shazam.
I think it is Mike.
I want to say Mike, but it might be Mark Angelo. Anyway, so...
Mr. Angelo.
Yeah. So then they lose this battle. The courts actually sit there and say... I think the defense for Superman was that Captain Marvel had a cape. Captain Marvel could fly.
Mm-hmm.
He had super speed, and I want to say bulletproof. It's been a while since I looked at this, but it was just one of those like, yeah, okay, but if you, and I think it had something to do with him being in the radio as well, because Billy Batson was an on-air radio personality.
Okay.
I felt that was so too similar. Forget the fact that he's a kid.
Yeah.
Forget the fact that it's all magic-based.
Mm-hmm.
Forget the fact that this isn't an alien from another planet. This is a kid, an orphan kid, who says Shazam, becomes Captain Marvel, saves lives, and ends up having his own extended family. Forget all that. It's too much like Superman, so they bought out the rights, and then Mr. Angelo, tweaked the character and went like full military regalia type of thing, like naval regalia. And I believe, if I remember correctly, he called him Marvel Man, but then still published his things until the boom died out or whatever.
Okay.
And then later, cantankerous old Adam Moore. No, what the fuck's his name?
Adam Moore?
Adam Moore? The Watchmen dude.
Oh, Alan Moore.
Alan Moore. That's
Yeah.
so close.
Yeah.
That's so close.
You said cranky and then you said Adam Moore. I was like, is there another Moore that's cranky?
It's his brother.
It's his brother. Yes.
Yeah. It's the one that when he owes you money, when you call the house, he's like, Alan Moore here. And
Yes.
he's like, I'm looking for Adam. He's no longer with us in this household. It's just me, Alan Moore, not Adam. Click.
Oh, Alan Moore.
That's actually a Paul Heyman thing.
Nice.
Yeah. I can't remember what his fake twin brother's name was, but it was one of those like, he's like, he owed a bunch of wrestlers money all the time. So they're like, hey Paul, you owe me money. Hey, it's Saul. I don't know where Paul is. It's weird that I kind of sound like him, but I guess it's because we're brothers. I will let him know to call you Rob Van Dam, just in case people are wondering. But anyway, so correct. I could be wrong, but I feel like I know that like Alan Moore, his Marvel Man, or sorry, Miracle Man, because again, fucking legal rights. Yeah, it was, yeah, but ultimately, yeah, in UK it was Marvel Man.
Yeah.
The second that they were reprinted in the States, they had to be called Miracle Man.
Miracle Man.
Because I don't even think Marvel Man was taken, but Marvel was like, no.
Yeah.
Can't call him Marvel Man. Alright, fine. Miracle Man. Miracle Man does
They
sound
had
cooler.
they had the copyright on Marvel.
I gotta say, Miracle Man does sound cooler.
Yeah, it
Right?
does.
And that led to, like, horrifyingly dark take. Like, if you didn't know what Alan Moore would later do with comic books, and I'm referencing specifically, like, The Watchmen and then his later stuff, read that and you kind of get a feel for it, because... Yeah, well, have you ever read it?
No. Pretty much just because I don't read more. I read Watchmen. That was way overrated. Did nothing for me. Plus, his personality, like reading Wizard and reading his interviews all the time.
He's
like,
insane.
This guy's a friggin' douchebag.
He's a prick.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, I get it to some degree. Like, I understand, like, him being mad that League of Extraordinary Gentlemen, the movie that was made, was...
Yeah.
Really nothing.
But, I mean, guys don't just go make a movie without your permission. You have to sign off on it first. And get a paycheck.
Yeah. But,
Which
I mean, that's what made him so sour that he didn't want to do anything else.
Yeah.
Although, apparently Dave Gibbons gave the okay to do the Watchmen movie. Which I think is interesting.
What about the Watchmen show coming out? I wonder if
and I was just thinking about that, and I was just like,
again?
I think maybe at this point now, it's just kind of like, fuck it.
He doesn't care. Well, I mean, it's probably DC's call now. He probably doesn't.
It has to be because they did that whole before the Watchmen.
Yeah, and they're doing that. What's it called? Like Doomsday Clock. They're using all the characters in that.
Yeah, so they own them now. So it doesn't really matter. They can do whatever they want. Doomsday Clock. Oh yeah, that's right. Pushbacks. Remind me about Pushbacks.
Oh yeah.
Remind me.
Was it a 10-issue?
No.
10-issue series?
Don't even.
10 years.
Okay. All right.
I wish I had a pen so I could write that in your
So
notes.
basically, long story long. Yeah. So it led into Miracle Man, and Miracle Man is a really, really dark and graphic, rape-inspired take on superheroes. Like
Well, that's a great selling pitch.
Alan Moore.
Yeah. Okay.
Hey, you know what we need to do? We need to have something bad happen to our heroes. Okay. All right. But it's got to be bad. Okay, alright, so like a loved one gets killed and it's because of our heroes in action, and that's the impetus as to why. No, he's gotta get raped. So he's a bad guy now? Yeah. Wouldn't you be a bad guy if you got raped? Yeah, I probably would.
Thor's the guy that raped me anyway.
Yeah, why do we have to even have this in comic books? But anyway, so yeah, so it led to Miracle Man and / Marvel Man. Marvel now owns the rights, so they have a Superman level character that they're doing fuck all with.
Yeah, just letting it rot away.
Plus, like, without getting too much on a tangent, but that costume that he has, the blue,
yeah,
with the like short yellow gloves, yellow and red gloves, and red and yellow boots, it actually looks pretty sweet. Like for a costume that was created like in the 80s, it still kind of holds up. Like it's one of those where you wouldn't really have to. I wouldn't even change it.
Well, they did some reprints, and Quesada did the covers.
Yeah,
his covers were amazing.
Well, it's Quesada though. Quesada's covers typically look amazing.
Yeah. His
interior art, if he's got
time.
Yeah, I was gonna say a hella long lead time.
If he's writing and drawing, you're waiting forever.
Oh God, yeah. Was that? Fuck. What was his first creator-owned book? Ash. Yeah, I was thinking Ash.
Ash and did Painkiller Jane too with.
Yeah, but Ash he was writing.
Ash was 100% his. Yeah.
And then Painkiller Jane was him and
Jimmy Palmiotti.
Yeah, his normal running buddy.
Yeah.
Anyway, so basically, that is why he's called Shazam.
Now, rewind this episode. Listen to that again.
Yeah.
Because you probably forgot where it was going.
No, the story was that why it's a tale of two Marvels, and that was the point.
That's the point.
So technically, we are talking about two different named characters.
Yeah.
But they're at one point they were both called Captain Marvel.
Here's the funniest thing: they both came out in the same month at the theater.
Yep.
Both Captain Marvels.
Yep.
And they both star Djimon Hounsou.
Yeah, I know. I was like, what is happening? See, he's like, he's quietly
he stars in both.
But like now, I think he might be the guy that's been in the most superhero movies. Because it's Guardians.
Yeah.
Captain Marvel.
Mm-hmm.
Shazam.
Yeah.
There was something else he was in.
He's done a lot.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. Would you count Tomb Raider as a comic movie?
No.
It's a game movie, right?
Yeah.
Even though they have a long-running comic book.
Yeah, but that's after the fact.
Because he was also in that. I don't know. What else has he been in? I still think Chris Evans is the most.
Chris Evans actually might be the most.
He's got
Losers.
Losers.
He's got Scott Pilgrim versus the World.
Yep.
He's got Fantastic Four 1 and 2. He's got Captain like
Captain America and the Avengers.
Yeah. But even just the roles, you know what I mean? Like that's quite a bit.
He's got Snowpiercer.
2, 3.
That's a comic.
4, 5 different superhero roles.
I swear there's one more in there too.
Well, because it's Cap, it's Johnny Storm.
Mm-hmm.
It's one of the ex-boyfriends.
Yeah.
It's one of the losers because I can't remember their names.
Yeah.
It's the main guy from Snowpiercer.
That might be it.
I think.
You know what? Losers really needed a sequel. I love that movie.
Losers was really good.
That was so good.
That was really good.
That was such a good movie.
Part of the problem was that it came out in and around the A-Team.
Yeah. And
A-Team was the big, huge, like, blockbuster one.
That was the problem.
And I've watched both of them. The plots are pretty similar, too. But I enjoyed Losers a lot more.
And that would make.
And I wanted to like A-Team.
That would make even more money now.
I wanted to like A-Team a lot, but Losers.
A-Team was fun, but it was incredibly forgettable. I can't tell you what it was about anymore.
No, but I can tell you that Liam Neeson was in it.
Yeah.
Rampage Jackson was in it.
Yeah. Bradley Cooper. I was just about to say, and what's his face? Charlotte Copley.
Yes.
Copley.
Yeah.
I'm the name butcherer. That's gonna be my first shirt for Geek Pants. Name butcherer.
Especially because the name butcherer sounds fucking terrible.
Mm-hmm. I'll even spell butcherer wrong.
Alright, so anyway.
Yeah.
Alright.
Somewhere.
Here it is. And the reason why we're doing this, because I got on a tangent, but we're doing Captain Marvel first because of the release schedule.
Yeah, we're going to go release schedule. I mean, though it really doesn't matter which one we do first, but you want to do Captain Marvel? Okay, let's okay. You're all in it. You're in it.
I'm in it. I'm in it for Captain Marvel,
Yeah.
and then later I'll be in it for Shazam.
Yep. Shazam.
Yeah.
Okay, Captain Marvel. Where do you want to start?
You start her off.
You know what? I didn't even make notes. All I did was simply write down the cast.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
Just all so right. I got someone to go off of. First, directed by Anna Boden and Ryan Fleck, which was a really weird choice because if you look at what they've done, it's all like really small indie movies.
That's all I heard was
and
really
TV
small
episodes.
Mm-hmm.
Their biggest movie is Kind of a Funny Story, which is a fantastic film with Zach Galifianakis. Really good movie.
Okay.
But yeah, I don't see how making that would be like a calling card for Captain Marvel. Just
now, were they always directing together?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
They've always written and directed together.
Because I was going to say, like, nothing in this movie, like, it didn't seem like two people were directing it. Mm. So at least there's that.
Yeah, it's
at
very much like
there's that.
Like the Russos, right? I mean, you can't tell us two people.
Yeah, no. If I didn't know, I would have just assumed it's one.
Yeah.
You know. Okay, so I remember a lot was made about the directing team, and I remember just thinking like, oh, okay. They're doing this thing. They were saying like, oh, Marvel's grabbing indie directors and they're doing whatever. And I no longer really pay attention to it because like we've established before that Marvel they have a template, especially for origin flicks. And and even in this movie, it's very much like click, 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 click. They're clicking off all these boxes very much.
This movie tries. They switch it up a little with flashbacks in this. It kind of bounces around at times.
Yeah,
but if you take it all and put it in order, it's the same step by step.
It's they did the same thing that the Deadpool did.
Yeah, exactly. And
Deadpool again, like, and I love Deadpool, and I thought Deadpool was it's a fucking great movie. But Deadpool is very much a paint by numbers origin flick, exactly like you said, like with flashbacks and stuff. They make you forget that it's actually very much check a by the numbers origin flick. Yeah. You know what I mean? And you're right. Like, if you put Captain Marvel or even Deadpool, like, in order, you would go, oh, yeah, it's literally the template for, like, 90% of the origin flicks. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? I think one of the few exceptions is Doctor Strange only in how it ends. That's it. Yeah. But other than that, it's, like, check everything all the way through. Pretty much. Black Panther, same thing. It's check all the way through. Yeah. Yeah, it's interspliced with Lion King, and I'm always going to say that every time we talk about Black Panther. However, it's still a by the numbers origin flick.
Definitely.
Now, is that a bad thing per se? Ultimately, no.
I don't think it is.
I'm going to say ultimately no, especially because even with that template, like, and even Captain Marvel, and I referenced Black Panther, and I'll talk about that too. But even in Captain Marvel, like, there's they do enough cool things with it that you actually kind of you're not like, I don't sit in the theater going like check and check and check. But a lot of times I was like, oh, that's really cool, or oh, I kind of like that, or I kind of like that, or oh, I don't like that, right? But like Marvel, I feel like Marvel's smart enough to get directors that can work within their templates. Yeah,
because when they go big, when they get a big director, they're coming in with their own thing. Like, this is what we're doing.
And that's
and then Marvel's always fighting with them, and then like Patty Jenkins was originally on Thor too.
I know, and every single time, like I look at that and I go, could you imagine? Yeah, Thor 2 with Patty Jenkins, especially because Wonder Woman,
was fantastic,
is one of the best superhero movies. Period. Mm-hmm. Okay, it is. I'm saying this now. Better than Captain Marvel. It is better than Captain Marvel. Oh, start to 100%. Finish, front to 100%. Back, top to bottom. Yep. It is better.
It's now, I feel there's a lot more heart to Wonder Woman to me. Like, I connected way more to those characters.
Exactly. Yeah. Now, I'm not saying that Captain Marvel is a terrible character. Mm-hmm. In fact, I liked Captain Marvel in this movie. Mm-hmm. Right in the few seconds that we meet her, when she's Fierce. Yeah. Fierce. Right. Which, when they're calling her Fierce, at first I was kind of like, huh. But then she's having human flashbacks, and then I was like, because I know that her name is Carol Danvers. Like, I know that that's her name in the comic books. I was like, I wonder how this happens, but it's kind of cool that it's a mispronunciation of a fragment of her last name. Yeah. And that's how they got her name. But I thought that was cool. But, like, within seconds, I liked her right away. I had a couple of gripes right away. I'll get to that in a second. So, having said that, just Wonder Woman is a better character, better movie, and I agree with the heart. Yes. There's no heart in this movie. Or not enough heart, I should say. Yeah, I mean, there's heart, but it doesn't feel real. For $1 billion movie, it doesn't feel real. You know, for $1 billion movie that's supposed to be a women empowerment movie, and I know that we may get some shit for this. There's not enough heart. No. Yeah, I mean, I'm surprised that Wonder Woman didn't make $1 billion. This movie did. I'm not surprised. This has the MCU pushing it. Plus they did the tease at the end of Infinity War. Everyone knew she was coming in Endgame. This was going to get a big push regardless. Although, and also you referenced that Disney conspiracy too. You mentioned that in last Camcast, which I thought was really interesting. That was more or less for the domestic box office part. Okay, but yeah, you're right. It's still made to a bill. It's true. The Infinity War bump, or the Endgame bump, was very huge. That's true. That's true. Because there was no Justice League bump for Wonder Woman. No. There was no Batman v Superman bump for Wonder Woman. No. I think the amount of money it made was in spite of Batman v Superman. Batman v Superman does not have good reviews. Justice League does not have good reviews. So Wonder Woman being in between there, that doesn't help. Whereas Marvel generally has a pretty... That's true. I shouldn't be knocking it too badly. But I mean, this is Marvel's first female superhero, so obviously, you know, women and young girls and everything are going to gravitate to this. What about Elektra? Yeah, but that's Fox. And I mean, she's not a good role model for little girls. Yeah, but I mean, like, is she a Marvel character? She is, yep. I know I just used a female pronoun, but is she a woman? We'll have to ask Matt Murdock. Would she be considered a hero? Especially in that movie? Anti-hero? Like on the level of, say, the Punisher? Or the Winter Soldier? Winter Soldier. Let's do that. Okay. You weren't there first, Marvel. Fox beat you to everything. Sorry. True. I have to say this now because we were doing this the other night. In it. So Black Panther, yes. First male superhero in a movie. Marvel. I can't remember. Was Blank Man first or was Meteor Man first? I feel like Meteor Man was Meteor Man. Yeah, I feel like Meteor Man was written, directed, starred a black man. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And it went to movies. Yeah. And that was in the 90s. Yeah. Blank Man was a year after. And I believe also that was actually directed and written by the Wayans. Yeah, and then 2 years after that was unfortunately Steel, but nevertheless, black superhero. Yeah. And 2 years after Steel... Was he coming off his Shazam high? Yeah. Yeah, he was. He was. But then, it brought us to... Blade. Which actually, like, kicked off the modern Marvel... Yeah. Movies run. Mm-hmm. I mean, I know it's New Line Cinema, but still. It was a Marvel movie. Still. So, end of the day, Blade, you're like, or Black Panther, you're like 4th or 5th in line. End of the day, Captain Marvel, you're 2nd in line. Should have been 3rd in line, because we should have had a Black fucking Widow movie 1,000,000 fucking years ago. Yes. It's actually maddening that you kill her off in Endgame. Spoilers, I don't give a fuck at this point. You kill her off in Endgame, you give her a shitty fucking memorial, and now you're saying her movie is going to be a prequel. A fucking prequel. No, it should have been her and Hawkeye teaming together, unraveling the secrets of her past, finding out about Budapest. Yeah, what is Budapest? Finding out that maybe, just like in the comic books, she hooked up with fucking Bucky beforehand. When he was in Winter Soldier. I want to know about Budapest. Because they were part of the Russians. Keep talking about it. Man. Yeah. But instead, we had to wait, and they rushed Captain Marvel out. And that's one of my biggest complaints about this movie, is that they rushed this movie out. They rushed it out, A, to get Captain Marvel out there, and B, to have it smash into Endgame, because the Russos are now talking about how she wasn't really planned for Endgame.
No, well, 100% she was rushed because they shot Infinity War and Endgame back-to-back over a 1-year span.
Yep.
And when they started Endgame, Captain Marvel wasn't even shooting yet. It didn't exist. So she was being put into Endgame. They didn't know how to play her. They didn't know what kind of personality to give her because she didn't even have her own movie yet.
Yep.
Even though her own movie was going to get done afterwards and then released first.
Yeah. So that's one of my big complaints with Captain Marvel is that it is a rushed movie.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, it feels rushed. There's a lot of scenes that are dragged out.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like they talk about like critics and stuff. They talk about, well, you know, this was dragged out because it's like plot filler because they don't have much of a story, and you feel it in this movie.
Mm-hmm.
You know, luckily, like this when cool shit happens, it's really fucking cool. Like there are some character moments that I actually really enjoyed. I really liked, but there were like. The opening scene, not the opening scene, the actual scene, the first where she's on Earth and she's chasing the other Skrulls.
Yes.
That was a very dragged out.
That is one long stretch.
One long stretch. And unfortunately, it's not one of those where you don't feel the stretch. You know, because you're in with these characters, like, and I'll reference Winter Soldier. So when Cap and Black Widow are now off the grid, they're running from Hydra.
Yeah.
And they're trying to get to the bottom of this. There's a very long sequence where it's just the two of them. You know what I mean? So it's the two of them, and then they go to like Fort McMurray or whatever it's called.
They went to work on the oil fields for a little while.
They go. They were so red hot they had to go to fucking Canada. But so they go to the camp where Cap is created.
Yeah.
And that's where they notice the new enclave. And Cap's like, this wasn't here before. Hiding in plain sight type of thing. And then from there. Oh yeah, no. That's right. It's the mall.
Yeah.
So it's the mall. Then it's the camp. Then it's meeting up with Falcon because they got the whole building destroyed on them. That kind of shit. That's a fairly long sequence. Doesn't feel long.
Falcon?
Didn't they like meet up with him? They're like, and he makes them breakfast.
Falcon.
Yeah.
Are we talking Captain Marvel?
No, we're talking Winter Soldier. I'm saying like I'm
Oh,
liking it.
you went back to that. Okay.
I thought I said that right at the beginning. Where
Well, they're so very similar in the way they're playing out. Okay, yeah.
That's true. That is actually, but it's
because they went to like a fort in this too.
Yeah.
And then they went and had breakfast with her buddy instead.
That's right, actually. Huh.
Yeah. Now that you mention,
wow.
I was actually confused because I was like, "This sounds like Captain Marvel," but I thought we were on Winter Soldier. What's going on?
And it's a black friend.
Yeah.
That makes him breakfast.
And Hydra's infiltrating, whereas in this it's Skrulls.
Skrulls. Okay, so this got a little bit of a minus now. You cribbed from a movie and you didn't do it nearly as good.
You're never gonna do Winter Soldier as good as Winter Soldier.
No, you're right.
Ever.
No, they could have even cribbed from Civil War, and I'd be like, and I had problems with Civil War, but I'd still be like, this is a far superior movie in comparison to Captain Marvel.
Yeah, like, because I kind of go like, Endgame and Infinity War are probably my favorites now just because of what happens in it and because I'm such a huge Marvel fan.
Actually, it's funny that you mentioned that because, like, I rewatched Endgame the other day.
Yeah.
And I was saying, like, I've said repeatedly, it's a great movie. It's an amazing fucking movie as long as you don't think about it.
Yeah.
And then I was kind of worried, like, when I was rewatching it, I was kind of worried that maybe I would spend too much time thinking about it. I don't think about any of these fucking things.
No.
At all.
No.
At all.
You don't think about it till later when you're stewing in your mind.
But now, because I finished it last night again, and I was just like, man, that's fucking great.
Yeah.
That's fucking amazing. I don't care about plot holes. I don't care about them. I'm actually like...
Me neither.
I am actually fine with this. I feel like maybe now I should rewatch some Transformers movies. Maybe I might have a better appreciation.
Go from number 1 into Bumblebee.
I can't...
And ignore the bunch in between.
Yeah, no, I... But, like, at least, like, with those two, I can say, unabashedly, I love Transformers. Yeah. Transformers is an awesome movie.
It is. The first one is so good.
They didn't do too much with the mythology, just enough. It's only when you get into the second one where now they start trying to smash more mythology into it. Yeah.
It gets a little nuts.
Plus, they like drag this plot hole padding filler. There's a lot of plot filler there. Anyway, back to Captain Marvel. Okay, actually, you know what? I don't want to get too bogged down in this because ultimately, what it comes down to is it's a rushed movie for one. It's obvious that it's a rushed movie too. That's the big problem. I don't mind if a movie's rushed as long as it doesn't feel rushed. Yeah. You know?
Yeah. I hear you.
A lot of like stuff was dragged out where it shouldn't have been. So like the story is a weak story. And like I said right at the beginning, it's a paint by numbers origin flick. Okay, all right. That's pretty much all of the negatives that I really have. Okay.
Yeah. I was thinking about Captain Marvel. It's been when did this come out now? Beginning of March.
I think so. Yeah.
So it's been about a good 2 months since I saw it now.
Yeah.
And I was thinking. I'm like, I don't really remember much about it.
I'll tell you what
I remember. Is the really awesome references to the 90s. I remember Blockbuster. And I remember the music popping up.
The music was awesome.
The soundtrack's amazing.
The soundtrack is absolutely amazing. That was awesome.
It's all those little things.
Here's the things that stick out for me. Yeah. Yes, those things stick out for me. But here's the things that stick out for me. Brie Larson as Captain Marvel, as fierce as Carol Danvers. She sticks out for me because she's awesome.
And I wasn't sure how she was going to be because there was a lot of controversy going in.
There still is, and I'm going to talk about this.
She said some stupid things. Okay. Like things you should probably just not talk about on live TV.
Okay, but hold on. We'll get to that because I feel like I have a differing opinion on this.
Yeah, no, cool.
And I do like. I mean, I don't want to turn this into a diatribe or a tirade of sorts, but I feel like I have to touch it. I have to put my spin on it.
If you start with chapter 1, I'm going to get worried. Chapter 1.
You know what? Maybe I will because you said that. But overall,
Shazam got bumped to the next episode.
But all jokes aside, Brie Larson. I wasn't so much worried about Brie Larson because at this point now, I'm pretty much just like if Marvel cast it, like if Kevin Feige was like, that's one of the people that we want to play this character. Okay, you know what I mean? Like I can't. Now it's like I can no longer really say no, this is going to be terrible because I've been proven wrong almost every single time that I was like, I don't know about Benedict Cumberbatch. Actually, no, I was fine with him as Doctor Strange. I was griping about somebody. Oh, right away, Chris Evans. I wasn't like, Chris Evans is going to be the best Captain America.
Well, Chris Evans was weird because they were like, he was Human Torch already.
But even then... And all the rules up until Captain America, he was playing essentially the jokey jock guy.
Yeah. You got the image of, it's not another teen movie with him having a whip on his dick and his tits and stuff. Yeah. And then he's Captain America and you're just like...
Exactly. So I was like even the Losers, I think, because Losers came out before Captain.
Yeah, but he was very jokey in that.
But he was the same thing. Like, there was really nothing different. So he was one of the first ones, and even Robert Downey Jr., he was another one where I was like, because that was for sure. I was 100%.
Like, you want to kick off your Marvel universe with Downey Jr.?
Yeah, the guy that
hasn't done anything in years because he was in prison and really fucked up.
Like he was in and out of jail, on and off drugs. This is the guy. Yeah. You know.
And then you watch that first trailer, like, he's the guy.
You know, but Edward Norton, I had no problems with. No. You know what I mean? Like I didn't even blink.
But they did.
Now I'm like. Yeah, but you know enough about Norton now that you're like, well, no shit.
Yeah, no shit. I totally understand. Though, end of the day, I'm always going to like Norton more than Ruffalo.
But anyway, I digress. So at this point now, Brie Larson gets cast as Captain Marvel. I'm like, okay, all right. And
I like Brie Larson. I've watched her in other movies. So when they said,
I don't think I've ever not liked her in other movies. And up until Captain Marvel, I don't think I've had an issue with anything she's had to say in interviews. But Captain Marvel also came about, or it was like heavy press releases and stuff, and it was being pushed during the whole #MeToo movement. So there's a lot of shit going on. There's a lot of stuff that women are going to be like, yeah, okay, like, it's about fucking time this shit comes to an end. And I agree. Mm-hmm. I agree. Mm-hmm. Okay, but we'll get to that in a second. So Brie Larson, great as Captain Marvel. I liked her, like, within the first few seconds that we are introduced to Veers. I immediately, at first, I was like, because she's very, like, humanly sarcastic. And I remember thinking to myself, like, how do they explain this? You know, like...
I was kind of like, oh, she's a Marvel character.
Well, but my brain went, how do they explain this, right? Because I actually, believe it or not, I purposely didn't really do too much Wikipedia on the Carol Danvers character. I know that, like, in the 70s, she gave birth to her son, who's also the father. And I also know that, like, Rogue was the one who... Rogue took her powers and parts of her memory, and that's why this Rogue right here on this fucking bitchin' 90s era Jim Lee
Rogue
t-shirt, this is why she has, like, superpowers, that she can fly and has super strength, and she's hard to kill, that kind of stuff. That's because she took it from Carol Danvers. So I know that part. I know that at one point Carol Danvers stopped being called Captain Marvel, called herself Warbird for a spell.
She did.
Then called herself Miss Marvel for a spell.
But she was never Captain Marvel.
Oh yeah, that's right. She was always Miss Marvel.
Yeah,
Miss Marvel,
yeah.
then Warbird.
Yeah.
And then she was rechristened Captain Marvel.
Just only a few years ago.
Only a few years ago, and they actually gave her like a tactical inspired suit, which I fucking loved. The second that they made it more military inspired, with like almost shoulder pads, that Chinese collar type thing.
Yeah.
They kept the sash because they argued that that was like a military thing.
Yeah.
They gave her like actual like gloves that looked like she was fucking kicking the shit out of people with, and actual boots, pants, because she was in a swimsuit for the longest time.
Yeah.
Like, in an embarrassingly long time.
Yeah.
I think it was right up until she became Captain Marvel that they're like, pants?
Mm-hmm.
Let's give her pants. Because it was a full-bodied top with weird shoulder cutouts.
Yep.
She had the sash. She's almost always had the sash. She had a face mask. And no pants. Just like a bikini bottom. But it was a onesie.
Yep.
So, I mean, I digress. So I didn't go into the backstories or how she got into her powers or how much influence the Kree was to her background, because I was like, you know what, I'm just going to leave it fresh. So within the first couple of minutes, and she's on, like, the Kree fucking task force.
Yeah.
I was like, I really hope they explain why she's, like, humanly sarcastic. You know what I mean? Like, I'm okay with everyone speaking English, that's fine. Although, tell me it's translated by... Tell me in the corner it's translated from Kree to English. Give me that, and I won't fucking say a word.
Yeah.
But, Jude Law, I was like, when they cast him, I was like, okay, alright, and there was rumors that he might be the original Captain Marvel,
yeah.
Marvel. Which I would have been okay with either way.
I would have been alright with that.
You know, but like I liked that Training Day vibe that they had.
Yep.
With her and him, I thought that was actually really cool. It's the first time I even referenced it as a Training Day vibe, actually. But I was just like going through my
now that you say,
but it is.
Yeah,
it's very.
That he even goes down like Denzel.
It's a shame that he doesn't actually get to say King Kong ain't got shit on me. Fuck. That was a great movie.
Oh, Training Day was good.
That was absolutely
I actually watched that
great.
twice in the theater.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
That was fucking amazing.
Yeah. No, that was really good.
But, so, I loved her character right away. Because, like, you never really see, like a cocky badass woman in these movies.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you almost never do.
No.
Like, I mean, like, I love, like, in Batman v Superman, where there's those shots where Wonder Woman is, like, getting tagged by Doomsday, and she's just kind of like, alright, that's how it is, and, like, you know what I mean? Like, stuff like that. But never someone that's literally like, yeah, but I'm gonna kick your fucking ass.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I liked the scene where she's taken captive by the Skrulls, and they're trying to get her secrets from her mind, and it's coming into conflict with buried memories. And I like how they do that right away, because then I was like, that's why she's humanly sarcastic. Perfect. Right away. So I immediately went from being like, if they don't explain that, I'm going to be really pissed, to immediately going, oh, okay, so she's got human, kind of like the Bourne identity. She's got flashback memories. Okay. All right. But when she now breaks out of that compound, that was a great way to showcase her cockiness, but also, like, backing up that cockiness. And she's doing most of it barefoot, which I thought was really cool, because you don't see that very often.
Those giant things on her hands?
Yeah!
Like...
preventing her, you know? Or even just right at the beginning, the conversation with the Supreme Intelligence, which I thought was really cool.
Mm-hmm.
Annette Bening, which I thought was cool.
Yeah.
And there was a reason why it was her, and you find out later, and I was just like, this is actually, like, there's, like... when I first watched this movie, I remember walking out of it going, like, there's a lot that I didn't like. But then when I replayed it back in my head, I was kind of like, yeah, but I liked this, and I liked this, and I liked this. And it ended up being like, I would think I was buying into more of the negative hype. Because there's a lot of negative hate for this movie by a bunch of guys doing the exact same shit that we're doing.
Mm-hmm.
But they're almost like gleefully about how much they hate this movie.
Mostly because they hate her. The actress.
Yeah, but I mean, still.
The actress. I swear that if it was another actress in that role, there wouldn't be nearly as much hate.
I don't know. I still feel like there would be.
And I still think that Charlize Theron should have been Miss Marvel, or Captain Marvel.
If we were skewing for an older character, then yeah.
And then that's the thing, right? They obviously went with age. Which is a bummer.
I don't know. Like, I mean...
Because next episode we're going to do a casting for X-Men Fantastic Four.
Yeah.
So my dream casting for Captain Marvel.
You stop.
My dream casting for Captain Marvel was always Charlize Theron.
Okay. Oh, okay.
So it's kind of just like that.
Right.
Like, I just feel like you should have went with that.
Okay.
That's me.
Yeah.
They went with Brie Larson. I was like, interesting choice. I didn't hate Brie Larson. I was just like, interesting choice. I never pictured.
I still don't hate,
because she's kind of like the director. She comes from mostly smaller indie comedy.
Yeah, but just so I also don't hate Brie Larson.
Well, I don't hate Brie Larson.
Even some of the stuff that she.
I think that she should have worded things differently.
Oh, we'll get to that, and I'll give you my opinion on those things.
But I don't hate.
Okay, so then. One of my favorite things about this, though, was, and I love the Training Day aspect between her and Jude Law.
Mm-hmm.
I like Jude Law. I remember thinking, like, right away where I was just like, he might be a bad guy. I think there's something up with him, and he might be a bad guy.
I kind of had that feeling right from the start.
Yeah, like, right from the get-go, I was kind of like, he might actually be a bad guy. But I just kind of, like, table it for now, right? Love the interplay between her and Samuel L. Jackson.
Yeah.
Absolutely love that.
And again, that technology to make him younger, holy shit, is that amazing now.
Yeah, it is absolutely incredible.
Him
it's
and Coulson.
Absolutely incredible. Coulson was another one. I've always loved Coulson.
Yeah.
But when you see him again in a movie like this, and then you're like, because if you don't watch Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., you might forget that show's still on.
Yeah.
Because it is.
It is.
And yet, nobody thought to say, hey, Avengers, just so you know, Coulson's back.
Yeah.
Maybe we should go to his birthday. Just kind of say everything's fine, you know. He did die, just so we're clear. But we used, I think, was it Kree technology to bring him back?
I think it was. It was Kree tech.
It was Kree tech. Also, shortly after we used Kree tech to bring it back, we did absolutely nothing with Kree tech. I think we broke it or destroyed it or something, so don't ask about the Kree tech, because we don't have any Kree tech.
No more Kree tech.
But we have Phil Coulson. Just, I don't know. I don't know why. Like, I mean, I understand they want to keep the movies separate for the TV shows, aside from, like, weird references, you know what I mean? But at the same time, like, fuck, he came from the movies. Shouldn't he get a bye?
I think, you know, yeah, like the end of Endgame at the funeral, like when they showed Jackson there, it would have been so great just to see Coulson behind him.
Yeah.
Like, no one there knows that Coulson's there, but he's
there, that kind of thing, because, like, fuck, wouldn't you want to say goodbye to these guys, too?
That would have been awesome.
You know what I mean? Yeah. Like, fuck, he was there from the beginning. He was there for the formation of the Avengers.
Yeah.
He's part of the reason why, like, he saw the same thing.
He's the one that came up with S.H.I.E.L.D.
Exactly.
Only for it to be redone by Nick Fury in this.
That part I was like, because,
yeah, that was a huge plot hole.
That was one of those ones where, like, even now I can't get past it, because it's like, I know they played it for a gag where it's like, do you really put your logo on everything?
Mm-hmm.
And then she's like, or he says something about her Air Force hat or something, and it's like, point taken. But the whole time I was like, yeah, but I mean, like, it was fucking 2008 that it was called. Mm-hmm. Strategic Homeland Intervention.
Yeah.
And whatever.
And when's this take place? 94? 5?
94?
Oh, maybe, no, 93, because Stan Lee's reading Mallrats' script.
That's right.
So it would be 93.
Right. That's right.
Because Mallrats was 94. So that's cool.
What was I saying? Oh, yeah, so I love Brie Larson. Captain Marvel, Veers. She's Veers at this point. Veers is, you know, a Kree officer. She's hunting down Skrulls. She teams up with Nick Fury, a young Nick Fury with hair.
Yep.
With both eyes.
Both eyes.
And almost immediately we meet the cat, too, don't we?
Yeah, Goose.
Goose, yeah. Which is a reference to Top Gun.
Top Gun, yeah.
Because she's an Air Force pilot. She's actually a captain. Did you check that out?
She is.
She's actually a captain.
She is.
Yep.
Yeah, it doesn't go by Captain Marvel, though.
Yeah, no,
They gotta call her Captain Marvel eventually, right? Because that's 2 movies now where they haven't said Captain
Marvel. They do in Spider-Man Far From Home.
Do they?
Yeah, the most recent trailer. Did you watch the most recent trailer? Yeah, you did.
Yes, I did.
You talked about the multiverse stuff.
Yes, I did.
So, because he's at the stage where he doesn't really want to be Spider-Man. He kind of wants to just be Peter Parker.
Yeah.
And so when, like, Tony Stark's like, no, you gotta fucking help out, he's just like, what about Thor? Off-world. What about Captain Marvel?
Right.
Indisposed or something like that.
Right. They did say it.
I heard a complaint about that, where they were just like, I don't like how Spider-Man's diminishing himself. And I'm like, no, he's not. He's basically saying, I don't want to do this. Couldn't you get anyone else but me to do this? Oh, there's no one else? Well, fine.
Mm-hmm.
I'll do it. Even though I'm trying to get MJ's V-card. Anyway, So getting back to this. So I love all those, I love the interplays. I love her character. I love, a young Nick Fury's character.
Yep.
And when Nick Fury meets Goose and immediately goes from like, yeah, I'm like part of S.H.I.E.L.D. and yada yada. Oh, there's that fucking kitty. I was like, man, that is so funny because like that's me. Like me with animals, dogs almost exclusively, but cats too. But I'm just like, oh yeah. Like in fact, one of my buddies at work, Keith Barnes. Hey Keith, just in case you're watching, Keith Barnes. He got a little Shih Tzu. Little puppy Shih Tzu, and they named him Mowgli. Oh yeah, you told me about Mowgli. This big, just super tiny. And the first time they brought him in, and I was like, oh my god, that's it. And, he's freaking out because he's just like, what is going on? And then so I just get right down on the floor, and he's just like, you're kind of cool, yeah? And then just boom, Penny, just like, oh, okay, buddy, okay. So then a couple of times after that, he's bringing him in. It's the same thing. He'll come right to me. We'll just fucking play around. But I could be literally in the middle of like talking about this TV has these specs and all of a sudden I'll be like, oh, look at the movie.
Okay, back here in the movie.
Yeah. You know, so I love that scene, even though it takes, even though it's like, if it wasn't for those two being so good together, then that long stretch in between where she's hunting down the Skrulls.
Yes.
And then they get to Monica Rambeau, which I liked. Like Monica Rambeau because maybe people don't know is that she was actually called Captain Marvel. Mm-hmm. Monica Rambeau was actually Captain Marvel. That's where I got tripped up because I knew there was a woman that was called Captain Marvel. And then I think she was Spectrum or something like that. She ended up going by a different name after she stopped calling herself Captain Marvel for some reason. Okay. But anyway, regardless. But I liked that, and I liked how they were childhood best friends. Mm-hmm. Growing up, and then they went through the Air Force together. Like, I loved that. I actually was kind of thinking that they might actually go the lesbian route with them. Yeah. And I would have been fine with, honestly. But at the same time, I'm not like, I don't feel like it's a missed opportunity. Because even though it's two best friends, right? It could be just intentionally made vague so that in the sequel they out her or whatever like that. But we'll see.
Yeah, we'll see. I hate the idea that, there's two best friends. They gotta be gay.
Well, no. Not necessarily.
I'm not gay with you.
Well, not yet.
That might be outed in the sequel.
Yeah. Like in Geek Pants 2, the repantsoning. Yeah. That's where, it's just one big long porno. Yeah. Occasionally, like in between, like the sexing, it'll be like, oh yeah, Captain Marvel! But,
that got weird.
It always does.
It does.
It always does.
It does.
But anyways, well, I actually had thought that that's what they were going to do. And then when they didn't, I was just like, oh, okay, alright. Like, I'm not saying that they have to, or that they should. I'm just saying that if they did, I wouldn't be like, oh, they're just doing this because they want a gay character of the Marvel Universe. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like, I know she's not gay in the comic books, and the fans might be in an uproar about that one.
Yeah, it's basically just like, they should make a guy gay, I think, if anything, because they introduce one strong female, and then she's gay. Like, it's just showing, like, oh, she's strong, she's gay. You know, like...
I feel, if you're...
Do you know what I mean? Like, there's a lot more male superheroes in the MCU.
Yeah.
Right?
But then the argument, like, if you have to introduce the character as gay.
Yeah.
That's what I feel. Like, I feel like if, like, Shang-Chi, for instance, if he's a gay character, and if he's a gay character like, Willem Dafoe in Boondock Saints.
Okay, yeah.
Where they don't even say he's gay at all. Like, he's going through his detective stuff, and then, then it's like the next morning, he just happens to be sleeping in the same bed with the guy. I was like, oh, fuck, wow!
Yeah.
That's crazy!
Yeah.
And then that was it. Like, it wasn't just like, oh, by the way, I'm Detective so-and-so and I'm super gay. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know if you noticed the Asian guy that I was plowing all night. Yeah. He's doing the walk of shame.
I know. I love it when they just...
It's just
it's a normal thing. It's just a normal
exactly.
thing.
Like,
and it doesn't need to be like, boom!
Yeah, like, it's no different than if it was a girl in the bed. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, and even the way that guy was posed was like a girl would be if she was like... Because, like, he's getting woken up, and he's a detective, so he's getting woken up, and off to the side sleeping, and I was just like, oh, wow. If they did stuff like that, I'd be like, oh, instead of this, like...
because stopping the story to go, oh, this is so gay, this is gay, it does nothing for the story.
It also, like, it kind of takes me out of it, too, because it's kind of like, I'll reference this again. It almost seems like they're doing it just so that they can high-five themselves. Yeah. Like that Russo gay cameo in Endgame.
Right.
Like, I just thought it was important to have a gay character in there.
And I should play him. It's like, in the one scene that does nothing for the story.
Yeah. But they're literally like high-fiving, and now they're doing this thing where they're like, guess what? 2 characters are gay. Yeah. And we're going to announce them soon. And I'm like, so now you're going to retroactively say that characters are gay? Or are you going to introduce a character to be gay? Yeah. But they're saying, like, existing characters are gay, and they're going to out them soon.
Which is fine, as long as they haven't shown a love interest towards a woman, or vice versa, yet. Like if they pull an Iceman,
the Iceman one really bugged me.
Right.
That one really bugged me.
Obviously, just like you couldn't have picked one of the other mutant heroes that haven't really shown a love interest.
Or bring Northstar back to prominence.
Or that.
Because it's not like Northstar was a terrible character by any means.
No, he's a good character.
You know?
He's Canadian.
Exactly.
So fuck yeah, Northstar.
Yeah. Like I was saying, so like if they made Shang-Chi gay right from the beginning, but just like normally gay.
Yeah.
You know? I don't know.
Or Wong in Doctor Strange.
Well, we're hitting up the Asians, eh?
Yeah. Only women and Asians are allowed to be gay.
yeah, but like I mean, I don't know, whatever. Like honestly, like
it's gonna get there, and whatever.
I keep saying, I just want more characters. So like, if they retroactively make them gay, then fine.
Well, one of the Eternals is gonna be gay. They said one of the Eternals will be gay, which is fine because I really don't fucking care.
I honestly like if they retroactively make an existing Marvel Universe character gay, like. I mean, ultimately, I don't think I'm really going to give a shit because, like I said, like I'm more about inclusion than anything else. Like I would rather.
This isn't the 616. It's its own universe.
Yeah, well, that's true. That's true. But anyway, so I loved the stuff with Brie Larson. Pretty much with like everyone in this movie is really good.
She's got really good chemistry with everybody.
Yeah, really good chemistry with everyone. Even. Yes, Ben Mendelsohn.
Yeah.
Who I've been watching for years now, and I never really knew his name, but I've always loved him.
Yeah.
Like Dark Knight Rises, he's the slime ball that's trying to act all tough, and like Bane is just like, that gives you power over me, and you're like, oh fuck, you're about to get fucking killed. And then he does. And it ain't pretty. I gather, because he's some cut. But
he's dead.
But I had no idea he was Australian.
No.
And like Crocodile Dundee Australian, not like Hugh Jackman Australian.
Yeah.
I was just like, wow. But he's great. Like,
he's great. He had a very interesting arc in this film.
Very interesting arc, especially because
actually the whole Skrulls arc.
I was just gonna say,
it's just like it takes a massive twist. It pulls a Mandarin. But this time I liked it.
But they did it so good.
This time I liked it.
Because, like we talk about the Mandarin twist, if it wasn't such a shitty follow-up...
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, if it was Rebecca Hall's character...
Exactly.
If she was the real Mandarin...
That would be cool.
I would have been like, fuck, that is crazy awesome. Yeah. But instead, we get Guy Pearce's Killian...
Yeah, Killian, whatever the fuck his name is.
Who's not only, he's not only, like, Mandarin, but he's also... Extremist on top of that, so I'm just like,
Yeah.
Plus, I already saw a knockoff Tony Stark in Justin Hammer, and it was done way better by one of the most gifted actors of our time, Sam Rockwell.
He is a great actor. I really want to see more Justin Hammer.
I really wish we did.
Yeah.
Like fake tan hands and everything.
They gotta have, like, you know what, Spider-Man 3... Whenever it happens, it'd be awesome if it was all about the raft escapes. The raft blows up.
That would be pretty cool. I don't see Justin Hammer on the raft, though.
Spider-Man's on the scene.
Hmm?
No, but he could do a cameo getting, like, armor and weapons and shit for the villains that got out.
Yeah, he could. Mm-hmm. He could be, like, the new Tinkerer.
Mm-hmm. The Tinkerer. Nothing more threatening than a guy named Tinkerer.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Even though I loved him in Homecoming. He was great.
Yeah.
Like, excellent casting, excellent portrayal. I would like to see more of him. Because, like, I feel like he's just one of those guys that's just going to be doing stuff for, like, the challenge. Mm-hmm. Not so much the money. So it'd be challenging for him to make a scorpion suit for somebody.
Yep.
You know? Okay. What else? Okay, so the Skrull stuff, where they actually... Because... When you're a comic book fan, and you're a Marvel guy, and you've been reading Marvel comic books since, well, late 80s, early 90s, the Krees are the good guys.
Yep.
Skrulls are always the bad guys.
Always
the bad guys. Because, like, they're shapeshifters, and they're always depicted as not just being shapeshifters happy with their planet, They want dominion over all planets.
Yeah, and I mean, as soon as they announced the Skrulls are going to be in here, everybody was like, "This is the setup for Secret Invasion."
Exactly.
Everybody.
It still could be.
It could be.
It still could be.
Could be.
Okay.
Because this is 93, so a lot can
That's
happen
right.
in 25 years.
That's right.
Yeah.
But the fact that they've now, like, when you get to that point where Mendelssohn's character is literally like, yeah, okay, but, like, you don't understand. They fucking took our planet away. Mm-hmm. All we want to do is find a place to stay. That's it. We don't want any trouble. It's just the Kree is horrible.
Yep.
Like, they're the bad guys. Like, we're not good either. And that's one of the most refreshing things about it, where he's just like, yeah, like, I've done some fucking shit here. But I did it because of this. And when you see him with his family, I loved that scene. Like, when that happened, I was like, oh.
Yeah. And then right away, I was like, what's going to happen to him now?
I was like, oh, don't kill him. Don't kill him.
Like, right away, it's like...
You know? And, like, even just, like, I also love the part where he doesn't want his daughter to see him do this shit. Yeah. Where he's just like... Cover her eyes because I gotta fucking kill some people. Mm-hmm. You know? But the whole thing, like, when they do that flip and the Kree are the bad guy, I was like, wow! And that was such an excellent flip, because like you said, like, Skrulls, they're bad. Yeah. Kree, immediately. They're good. They're good. You know, but yeah, like, that was... If they didn't have that twist, I don't think I would have liked the movie as much. And, I probably would have been like, holy this. Ugh, Jesus. But even, like, the explanation of how Veers got her powers. So we find out that, of course, she was Carol Danvers. She's a human. And, you know, her and Monica are top, you know, of the Air Force. Yep. And Annette Bening's character is actually Marvel. In disguise. Yeah. Excuse me. Trying to set up protection against the actual Kree. Yep. To help the Skrulls out. Which was crazy cool. The gender swap there I thought was really awesome. I guess in this case you could have cast Charlize Theron and then you would have been happy.
No, it's not too old.
What?
Annette Bening.
Yeah, Annette Bening is too old, but Charlize Theron could have been Marvel.
Yeah. You know that for Wonder Woman, they offered Wonder Woman, and she's like, tell me about it. And then she said, oh, Wonder Woman's mom.
Yeah, I know.
They offered her the mom role.
Yeah, and she's like, that's when I found out I was old. I was like...
She's only 7 years older than Gal Gadot.
Yeah. But doesn't look 7 years older.
No. God, no. She looks our age. She doesn't look old.
No, she doesn't look old, but she doesn't look our age.
I don't know.
Do we look like we're in our 40s?
She's like 42 or 43.
But she looks
We're not that far off, buddy.
Yeah, no, I know we're not that far off. We don't look like we're in our 40s. She looks like she's in her 40s.
I look damn good.
We both do.
Especially with my shirt off.
More so with your shirt off.
Your pants.
Oh, yeah. Fucking fur all the way down.
All the way down.
Next to nothing here.
Yeah.
Like, this, you're welcome. This.
Yep. The little trail. You got the
littlest bit here.
Yep.
The trail, if I'm not kempt,
yep.
If I'm unkempt, it's all the way down to my fucking
full
toes.
Full centaur.
All the way down to my fucking toes.
Yep.
But I do keep this area generally clean. I'm winking for like the 90% or 95% dudes that watch this.
Yes. They're like, good
probably
for you.
96%, maybe 98.
Oh, man.
But anyway, so overall, I would say I loved what they did with Captain Marvel's character. Mm-hmm. I loved what they did. Actually, basically all the characters in this are really good. They're just hampered by a weak script that was rushed into production. The special effects were largely great. One thing I will say, though, is even at the very end where Captain Marvel is like free of any inhibitors and all of that, I didn't get the sense that she was going to be like a fucking powerful heavy hitter.
Yeah.
You know? The one scene in particular that always sticks out to me is something that I was like, I get what you're trying to do, but I don't feel like it was good enough, was this scene where, like she's going through this. She's essentially fighting the Supreme Intelligence to destroy the block, and they keep showing the scenes of her falling down, right? And then they show the reverse where now she's getting back up type of thing. I get what they're trying to do. It just wasn't the Wonder Woman walking through a no man's land moment.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Like, I know that was the feeling that they wanted to have you achieve. Like, they wanted people to go, "Fuck yes, she's a girl and she's awesome," right? Yeah. Whereas that scene where Wonder Woman is just climbing up the ladder to no man's land was like, holy.
Oh, that scene's intense. I literally get goosebumps every time I watch it.
I'm talking about it right now, and I'm starting to get goosebumps because it's just like, and like, because it's the setup. She's going up the steps, and you're just like, okay.
And the music's playing. You got that amazing score. And
this is like no man's land, and I love that it's specifically no man's land.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That was done on purpose. And she's now walking through there, blocking bullets, like doing everything, and just like fucking going through there, and you're just like, holy shit,
and just fucking awesome. And then just drilling awesome. Hope into everyone behind her
and
watching.
Everyone is like, fucking right, like,
go, yeah.
And then it's like that awesome scene where now she's going through there, and then it's like through the city, and she's doing all this shit, and you're just like, oh, that was what I wanted from that scene. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? And it was just, again, because it was so rushed, they didn't have a chance to do that. I know what they were trying to do. I wish it was better. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Like, I feel like they didn't stick the landing.
Yep.
Especially because, like, even when, and I'll reference Black Panther too, because Black Panther making $1 billion, I get it. It's a fairly good movie. Mm-hmm. Like, the story is actually pretty good.
Yep. Special
effects are, for the most part, really good. While Chadwick Boseman's Black Panther T'Challa isn't the most, like, he's not Tony Stark, he's also not Captain Marvel. Like, or Captain America. He's very, like, stoic and very, like, soft-spoken. There's not really much to his character, but he plays off well against his sister, who's got a lot of personality, and everyone else around him. Even, what's his name? Watson. What's his character's name? Anyway, you know, I'm from the show Sherlock. Watson. Martin Freeman.
There it is.
I didn't ask what his real name was. I asked what his character's name was.
Yeah, Watson.
You still don't fucking
Bilbo.
know. I don't fucking
Bilbo.
know. Yeah, Bilbo.
Yeah.
There we go.
Yeah. Fuck, what is his name?
But anyway, his character, like, his interplays with all these other characters.
Yeah.
His interplays with all, like, his female guard all works around him being stoic.
Yeah.
And everyone else is very charismatic. And then, of course, Killmonger just steals the show. Mabatu. He's also
he's awesome.
A show stealer.
Yep.
You know what I mean? That movie doing $1 billion does not surprise me at all. Even though, like I've said before, that's The Lion King. It's more so than any other movie, I can honestly say, like, that's literally The Lion King. You know, like I've said that The Avatar and Ferngully and Last Rainforest, those are the exact same movies with some differences for, like, in terms of how the story is presented.
Well, I mean, Avatar's 2 hours longer.
The beats are largely the same. Whereas, aside from the Infinity War or the Endgame bump, and even then, I'm still like, this movie, as much as I hate to say it, shouldn't have been $1 billion. It shouldn't have made $1 billion based on the fact that it's not a good script. It's not as good a script as... It's one of the weakest scripts of the Marvel Universe. You know, and I know a lot of people don't want to say that because there's an anti-feminist backlash type of thing, and I'm not saying this it's a woman thing. Mm-hmm. I'm saying, like, it's the script that is the weakest part of this whole movie.
The script is not strong, though the twists help it. Because there's some solid twists. The whole Skrull,
it is true.
The whole Skrull thing really bumped it up a star for me. Because I was like, this is a pain for the numbers. I know how this is going to go. Whoa, did not see that coming.
I was actually sitting at about a 3 or 2.5, 3 Chris heads, and then that twist happened. And I was like, okay, that's a 4.
Like, this is okay. Like, if I'm looking at the entire list of MCU movies, this is probably dead middle of them. It's not my favorite. It's not the worst.
Yeah.
But it's a pretty good solid. It's somewhere in the 12 to 15
Actually, you know what? To be fair, to be perfectly fair, like, I could see myself watching this again. And, like, being one of those, like, if it's on TV type of thing, or, like, if Michelle's like, you know what, I haven't seen it, you want to watch it, I would watch it again. Whereas, like, what would be an example of a movie that... So I watched Thor recently. I will be sitting through Thor 2. Thor 2 is probably going to be one of those ones where, like, if I'm not doing this whole completionist run for the movies, I'm probably not going to watch Thor 2 again.
I would skip Thor 2, and I'd probably skip Iron Man 2.
Yeah, Iron Man 2 is another one that I can see myself skipping.
And that's pretty much the only two that are skippable. Like, Incredible Hulk's near the lower end of... I love that movie.
Love that movie.
I love that movie. Like, it's not...
I do really love that movie.
I don't know why people hate on it so much, really. It's a friggin' good Hulk movie.
Yeah, it's a really good Hulk movie.
They don't get too much into the origin of everything, because, like, they just did all that in the Ang Lee Hulk movie.
Yeah,
like,
and if we're talking about, like, Hulk movies, like, we're not that far removed, you're right, from Ang Lee's Hulk. And Ang Lee's Hulk is actually an example of a bad Hulk movie. Like, I mean, they made him look too cartoony.
He's very cartoony. Well, they tried to make him look... you know what? It's the Ruffalo, what they did with Ruffalo in the new Avengers. Yeah. It's that, but the tech wasn't where it needed to be.
Yeah, but also they also made him too big.
Yeah, well, he got bigger.
That's right.
He was like 8 feet, and then he grew to like 15 or 20 or something.
And then the only really thing that I still to this day really like is the comic book paneling for the scene cuts.
That was awesome.
That was cool. And I was like, it's one of those where I'm like, I'm surprised we don't see that more often.
And I love the casting in it. Eric Bana was a great banner.
Eric Bana but Eric Bana's just great.
Yeah.
That's the thing.
Jennifer Connelly was great as Betty. Sam Elliott was amazing as Thunderbolt. Like, it was a really good cast.
Yeah, it was a really good cast. Although, I do like current Thunderbolt Ross. I like him better.
Yeah, oh no.
I like him better.
William Hurt, I love William Hurt too. So, yeah, no,
he's better as Ross.
He is.
Connolly was the better Betty Branto. Or Betty, yeah.
Ross.
Betty Ross, that's right. She was the better of the two.
She was.
Even though I don't hate Liv Tyler either, and she's good.
It really bothers me that she hasn't made another appearance in these movies. Like, okay, you brought back her dad, so obviously
I know.
She's out there.
We said that in Civil War, where it's like you brought back your dad, but you didn't bring back his daughter?
And now Hulk has found a way to be Hulk and be human. What did he try to... Hey, Betty, love of my life?
Yeah, but I mean, we're also talking about, like, from a normal-sized penis to, like... and not, like, my arm. But, like... I mean, I'm assuming.
Elephant trunk up
I'm assuming.
What are you going to do with that, babe?
But that's what I mean. Like, it's just one of those, like...
Well, maybe he could play around with the gamma and learn how to humanize that area. Wow, that's really small in that body.
Because otherwise...
Oh, yeah.
If she's just, like, freely, like, okay, cool.
Yeah.
If it was me, I'd probably be like, what have you been doing since we dated? Because you didn't even blink. I mean, not that there's anything wrong with that at all, but so I agree. Like, it's a middle of the pack movie for me.
Yeah.
Because like the stuff that I liked, I really liked. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Like it's like you know, we mentioned the Thor 2 and Iron Man 2, and like upon rewatching, there's still stuff that I like. It's just outweighed by the stuff that I really didn't like. You know, especially because again, like Iron Man 2 is another movie that was rushed. Excuse me, and it was rushed to get there before Avengers. For what reason?
Well, they did a lot of rushing. They're like, Avengers is coming 2012. We're gonna do another Iron Man. Still gotta do Hulk or Thor, Captain America.
That's what I mean.
Just like
because it was Iron Man and it was Hulk. And
in 2008, and then they did nothing in 2009.
Yeah,
they took a 2-year break.
And then it was
why didn't you do Thor?
And then it was Cap.
Yeah,
and Cap was the perfect lead into Avengers. But nah, we gotta get a fucking Iron Man 2 sequel in there. Mm-hmm. So we rushed that guy and sandwiched that in there.
Though I did love how in Iron Man 2 they teased Thor's arrival.
Yeah.
That was really cool.
That was cool.
Coulson's like, oh, gotta go to New Mexico.
Oh, yeah, that's right, because then it's Iron Man and Hulk.
Yeah.
So then it's Iron Man 2? Then?
Iron Man 2.
Then Thor, then Cap.
Yeah.
Then Avengers, that's right. I remember, yeah, but either way, yeah, sandwich.
It's hilarious to look how tiny Phase 1 is compared to Phase 3 being like fucking 100 movies.
Yeah. Then how else could they say 22 movies?
22 movies.
And this was one of them.
Yeah.
I still think this one could have benefited from being released after Endgame. But either way.
I mean, either way, it takes place in the 90s.
Yeah,
it
it's out.
Really been released whenever.
It's out. They did a lot of really good. Now, okay, so before we go too far off, actually, because I'm done. Like,
I'm done with Captain Marvel.
So
that Captain Marvel.
The Brie Larson stuff that you were talking about, like, what was the thing that she said and the way she worded it that bothered you?
It's not so much that it bugged me. It's just that I could also see why people were snapping about it. Like, I just, like, whatever.
Yeah.
But, like, she says something about, what was it? She didn't want white men to review the movie. She wanted, or interview her about the movie or something. Something along that line. She didn't want white men. She wanted colored people and women and didn't want any white men.
No.
It was something like, I don't know.
The context that you're talking about was what, like, that's what everyone snatched out.
Right.
To use, but what she's actually said was, I want more than just
exactly
white
yeah,
dudes.
That's why it didn't bug me. But I also said, well,
but that's
the crazy people are gonna really snap on your face.
Yeah, but like even then though, it's like for me personally, when I heard that part, I was like, yeah, but like, what's the rest of this? Like, what? This seems like it's out of context because you could do that. Like, you can literally take anything out of context. One of my favorite things.
God, yeah.
One of my favorite things for a while there was like when Dr. Phil started to get huge. David Letterman had this thing on his show where he would take random things that Dr. Phil would say, and it would be just like, and now for a Dr. Phil moment, and it'd be a clip of Dr. Phil saying, "I'm a dirty, stupid whore." That was it. That was the clip. And you're laughing because you're like, oh, that's hilarious for him to say that. The other context was he's paraphrasing a feeling that a husband has for his wife because his wife is sleeping around on him. Yeah. And now he's trying to get to the bottom of this incredibly serious thing, right? But that one context thing is fucking hilarious, right? So I do that and I'm like, well, what's the rest of this context? And when I finally found that context, I was like, I did this. I literally went, oh. Yeah. And I've watched a couple of the YouTube videos where they're just like, the Avengers cast hates Brie Larson.
Oh, yeah. They just went off on it.
They fucking...
Did you see Don Cheadle, though?
Hold on.
What he said?
Hold on. Before I get this, they went to town on her, though. Yeah. But even then, with those clips where they're just like, they show the clip where it goes, don't touch me, I told you not to touch me, that one, you know, that kind of thing. And even then, I was going like, what's the context about this clip? Yeah. Because I can take, I know people who can take a clip of a movie, shorten it down to just that part, and suddenly I look like the greatest guy in the world, but you look like the biggest prick, right? Mm-hmm. But the actual context is just, you know, in fact, if we look it out, I'm the prick, you're not, that kind of thing. So I kind of looked at it like they've taken a bit that could have been a joke between these two people that we don't see the setup, we see the punchline, but out of context, it's not funny. It actually looks like he's literally like, bitch, get off me, that kind of thing, right? So this whole thing with Brie Larson, like, okay, so she said the thing about how I want more than just... Right. Okay. Right. But...
And I didn't take it in a negative light at all. This is just me going, when you're a celebrity and there's a million idiots watching you, you really got to tiptoe sometimes.
There are a couple of things, like I saw the one where it's like Jeremy Renner and her, and they have, like, Jeremy's literally, like, leaning away from her. Yeah. And I was like, okay, that doesn't look good.
Yeah, it seems like Renner doesn't like her.
Yeah, and then
I'll give him that. Renner doesn't seem to like her.
Does this thing where she goes like, well, I'm at a point now where I'm going to use my celebrity as a platform to get my opinions across, and he's just like, I'm not gonna, like, I feel like that's, like, my actions will speak, I don't need to use my celebrity as a platform. Yeah. And he says this, like, immediately after she says that, so I was like, okay, I don't think he likes her.
There's something there, yeah.
He might, or it might be just one of those things where he's just kind of like, but, because, like, to be honest, I feel like it's a double-edged sword. Like, I feel like when you're a celebrity, I don't want to say it's your duty to use your celebrity to get your point across. Because, like, I'm kind of with Renner where I'm like, yeah, but, let your actions speak for you. You know what I mean? Like Chris Evans definitely seems like a super cool guy in real life.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? And,
he doesn't use his celebrity for any type of platform.
You know what I mean? But he has no problems calling attention to injustices, related and stuff like that. But it's not like, hey, I'm Chris Evans, Captain America. I don't know if you've seen any of the movies in the Marvel Universe.
To me.
But this is the stuff I'm going to say. So, like, in this regard is where I'm kind of like, I could see, like, this is where I'm saying, like, maybe she could have worded it differently.
Exactly.
Or maybe she could have actually sat there. She didn't feel the need to say, hey, look, I'm a celebrity and I'm going to start using this to get my points across.
Well, like that interview she was with Cheadle and Hemsworth, and they're both kind of like this, and she's like, yeah. Everyone was like, oh, she's trying to look big, and beside these guys trying to look.
And that's another one where I'm like,
but then Cheadle goes on Twitter and he laughs. He's like, you guys, she had a ponytail. She was trying not to get it stuck behind her. That's why she was...
Yeah, but even so that's another scene too, and I was going to get to that scene where, they're talking about doing, like Hemsworth is literally like, oh, my stunt guy is amazing. Like, I don't really have to do... He does all the heavy lifting, and then I just show up and I look great, and I probably don't look that great now that I told you this, but... I thought that was really cool, and I actually kind of found it refreshing that he literally goes, I almost do none of my own stunts.
Yeah.
And then she goes like, oh, you don't do your stunts? I thought you had to do your stunts. And he's just kind of like, oh, look at Tom Cruise over here. And then she reacts like, I'll be the first me, thank you very much. And I was like, that part there is where I go, okay, so she might have, I feel like she took that too personal.
Yeah.
Because it seemed like he's busting her balls type of thing, but he wasn't like, yeah, whatever Tom Cruise.
Yeah.
So I feel like that was one of the few where I'm like, okay, that there I could cite that as being like she took that a little bit too personal.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. But other than that part there, and okay, because she's a human being, and you know what? Maybe it's a long fucking day of doing interviews.
I guarantee it was.
And eventually, at some point, she's probably, I don't know, tired, probably hungry. She might even be just, like, sick of the two dudes' colognes sitting beside her, But I do love, like, Cheadle immediately was like, guys, like, what the fuck is wrong with you? She's got a ponytail, like, and who the fuck cares?
Yeah.
Like, that's the way it seemed like he played it off. Like, who the fuck cares?
So she said that one thing that was taken out of context by all the people that were really looking for something to hate on her for.
And man, were they were literally like, Don Cheadle fucking hates her.
Yeah.
Check out this video about how much he fucking hates Brie Larson.
Right. So now the fire started, and now they're looking for all the fuel to make it roar. Like,
but it's like,
oh, look at the look she gave him there.
Yeah, but it's like, I can't, like, shut the fuck up. Like, that's all I'm saying. I mean... is it so bad that she's an opinionated woman? No. Is it so bad that she's going to use her celebrity as a platform to get her viewpoints across? Ultimately, no. I mean, I feel like she should be more action-oriented, but hey, that's her choice.
That's her call.
Who the fuck am I to tell her what to do?
You want to play it?
She's fucking Captain Marvel.
Yeah, just
she's gonna do it.
She's making movies that make billions of dollars.
At the end of the day, like,
we can't make 100 subscribers, so.
But like the backlash to try to not make this, like, to make this movie bomb is one of those things where I'm like,
oh yeah, they were trying. Well, they did the Rotten Tomatoes thing, right? Where Rotten Tomatoes is like, we're not taking fan reviews anymore.
Yeah, but it's like buying the books to burn them.
Yeah.
Okay, if I write a book and you guys want to buy every single copy to burn it, great.
Because sales are great for me.
Because I'm going to keep releasing that book until you guys stop burning it, and then I'll be sitting on a fat stack of cash going, guess what, guys? I'm writing another book, and if you hated my first one, you are going to hate my next one, because, ladies, I, a white male, am writing a book about a black female.
Oh.
That's right. Two things I have no experiences about, but I'm going to write it anyway. Burn that book. Like, fuck. It made me mad, actually. It actually made me mad that, a bunch of butthurt white comic book guys are like, we're gonna fucking Pearl Harbor this movie. Why?
Mm-hmm.
You know, instead of talking about how you're gonna bomb this movie, don't go to it.
Yeah.
Don't make a big deal out of it. Then maybe that might have worked.
Yeah. Guess what? They all went to it because no way this would have made $1 billion without those.
Every single one of them went to that movie.
Went to watch
they paid their fucking money. In some cases, they paid $26 to $40 to see this movie just so that they could hate the fucking movie. Guess what? You bought the book to burn the book, you morons.
Mm-hmm. You're smart.
And on top of that, guess what? She was actually a pretty big deal in Endgame, even though she wasn't in there much. For what she was in there, she was a big deal.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? There's things that would have had to play out differently if she wasn't in it, but she was. She wasn't out of place. Second of all, congratulations, Captain Marvel 2. Well, it's not officially announced just yet, and we gotta wait till summer, the DisneyCon, or whatever the hell it's called. But guess what? There's gonna be a Captain Marvel 2. And you know what? There's gonna be a Captain Marvel 3. I'm saying that right now. There's gonna be a Captain Marvel 3. Captain Marvel 2 will not do $1 billion. I don't think it'll do $1 billion. I also don't think Black Panther 2 will do $1 billion.
Black Panther will do $1 billion.
I don't think so.
You know what? It's all gonna. If Far From Home makes $1 billion, then I think Endgame really set something going forward where they could pretty much just release whatever now and make close to $1 billion.
I want Spider-Man Far From Home to do $1 billion. I don't think it's gonna do $1 billion. Does. If it doesn't, it's going to be so close it's gross.
I mean, there's so much in there that's right off of Endgame. I don't know. I think it's got a chance at $1 billion.
You know, the only reason why I'm hesitant to say it will is because for some reason Spider-Man movies haven't made $1 billion.
Weird, right? But it's kind of like Justice League and everything else too.
No, it's not, because Spider-Man 2 should have made $1 billion.
It should have. I'm just saying, like, these are really famous characters. You think their movies would make money over Captain Marvel.
But the reason why I'm saying, like, Justice League and Spider-Man 2, or even Spider-Man 1, or even Spider-Man 3 shouldn't be in that same category is because Justice League is largely a bad movie.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? Like, this Frankenstein, Whedon, Snyder cut equals a really bad movie.
Yeah.
I mean... It's a fun movie. Yeah, it is. It's a fun movie.
No.
It's just a fucking bad movie. Mm-hmm. And I don't want to say that because I love these characters, but it's a bad movie. You know? Spider-Man 3 is the weakest out of those movies, and it is a better movie than Justice League.
I don't know. I watched it recently, and it's not really holding up that well.
Watch Justice League again, please.
I will.
And then tell me that.
I have it on my shelf.
Has that even been cracked open?
That's open. I haven't watched it yet.
Yeah, that's basically what I was getting at.
Oh, I'm just an idiot who likes to be completionist with everything. You know.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Okay. Yeah. So, Brie Larson stuff taken care of.
Right.
Okay. Pushbacks. Pushbacks. Remember what I said? Remind me about pushbacks?
Yes.
Remember a couple of camcasts ago I said we're probably never going to see New Mutants? And you were like, nah, we're going to see New Mutants. Guess we got pushed back again till 2020.
Yeah.
New Mutants.
Yeah.
I maintain that movie's never getting released.
I maintain that it is getting released because Disney just announced it last week. They gave it a release date.
Yeah.
They gave it a release date.
Yeah.
Disney could easily go, it's not happening. They have that power. Why would they even bother talking about it if it wasn't going to happen?
Why push it back then? Release the fucking movie.
Because now Disney's putting money in to do those reshoots.
Okay. All right. I still maintain that. And
hey,
also,
they cancel Gambit.
Avatar 2.
Avatar 2.
Push back.
Yeah, to make room for Star Wars.
Why?
Because they want to take turns every Christmas with Avatar and Star Wars. So they didn't want to release Avatar 2 until Star Wars was ready to tell a new trilogy.
That's fucking stupid.
Yeah.
That's actually really stupid.
Yeah. Right now, Avatar 5 is coming out 2027. Cross your fingers that James Cameron's still alive by then. The guy's 64, and you're scheduling movies for 2027? Holy shit.
that's pretty much it. I think that was the big...
Was that the big thing?
Though I just kind of wanted to rub it in your face, that's all.
Okay.
I just want to be like, yeah, we're never seeing New Mutants. I want to see New Mutants.
I think we're going to see it, and I'm hoping it's still in the theater when it happens.
If anything, it gets released on the Disney streaming service.
No. Well, Hulu maybe. But they're keeping Disney Plus pretty PG.
Yeah, but what about the reshoots, though? What about the reshoots?
I can't even watch Hulu.
I mean, the reshoots, man. If they reshoot and make it PG, then what?
I'll be pissed.
Oh, I'll be pissed too. I mean,
I want that movie that showed on that trailer.
It doesn't have to be rated R, but it doesn't. It can't be PG.
No, it's got to be a horror movie.
Because
fuck,
that looked good.
You see the trailer for It Chapter 2 today?
I was actually going to save that for Shazam.
Were you?
I was.
Okay, well, we're talking horror there for a second, so
I know. But yes, I did.
Yeah, it's so good.
Yeah, I did.
It's so good.
Because I look at what culture all the time, and they do this thing where it's like ups and downs, right?
Yeah.
And they actually said one of the downs was that they didn't include enough of the cast in this trailer, because it's essentially just Beverly Marsh in her old apartment, talking to the old lady. I loved that. I thought that was a great way to reintroduce Pennywise.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I thought it was kind of interesting that they were hinting at like a bit of a backstory for Pennywise.
Yeah.
And I'm okay with them doing a backstory for Pennywise. If they're gonna do this like he's an old circus performer type thing, I'm not gonna like that part. But I'm also the guy that read the book. Okay.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I watched the made-for-TV movie with Tim Curry, which, speaking of not holding up well, that has not held up well. But it's also made for TV, so you know. Yeah. But like, Pennywise is like a dawn of time type of thing, like always been around type of thing. Like, there's even ties to the Dark Tower with Pennywise. Which, if they don't go that route, that's fine. Especially because the Dark Tower movie was a movie.
Mm-hmm.
But if they make him an actual, like, early 1900s circus performer, then I'm gonna be like, that's stupid. That is fucking stupid.
I thought didn't they show footage in the first one of, like, him during, like, the medieval times and everything? Like, drawings and stuff?
Yeah, they did. They did.
Like, he's been around forever.
Yeah, and that's why I was saying, like, when we talked about, like, I actually like the Renaissance style clown costume. And when I first saw it, I didn't think I would, but in the actual movie, I was like, that actually is great, and it's awesome. But needless to say, I mean, I was pumped for that movie the second I stopped watching Chapter 1. I was like, fuck, yeah! But now, I am like, oh, man, could you release this movie now?
And the cast is so good.
The cast is amazing.
Like, you look at that is some spot-on casting. I can't wait for that.
Yeah, I can't wait. I can't wait. So, you got anything else to say? You got anything else to wreck for for Shazam? I like that you actually have a spot this is off topic.
Yeah. And New Mutants was on the list.
And Spider-Man Far From Home trailer.
Yeah.
But we didn't really touch upon that too much. We'll save that for
Shazam.
Okay.
And that's funny, so I had to talk about it.
Okay. Alright, so...
okay.
Even though I've said that we're going to literally do Shazam right after this, we have to do this. Thank you so much for stopping by. And you can catch us on...
YouTube. Oh, am I doing it? YouTube, Twitter, SoundCloud, Facebook, iTunes, Instagram. That's 6. All right.
You did it!
I did it!
Yeah!
Yeah!
Woo! All right!
I'm the best.
You have been Geek Pants. Oh yeah, we talked about that. We're not doing that because it doesn't sound good.
No.
Shit.
No, the pantser will come and get you.
That's right, the Geek Pantser.
Yeah. No, you're just, you stay naked, right?
You stay naked, you stay classy.
You stay naked.
I pointed at you when I said that too. I said, you stay naked. And then you stay classy.
And
thanks for stopping by.
See you next time.
These pancakes are delicious.